Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pixels and Paranoia podcast. I am Mirage, and I am joined today with...
Cryptic here.
And we have an interesting episode lined up for you today. We are going to talk about some of the new games that have been announced at Gamescom 2025. There's a decent amount of games that were announced, so it should be a pretty interesting next year and a half. We got Call of Duty Black Ops 7 was announced along with a trailer. It reveals the campaign, multiplayer, and some zombie details. Then we got Hollow Knight Silk Song. They gave it an official release date, which is nice. They have it expected to come out September 4th of this year, actually. I don't know if you're familiar with Hollow Knight at all.
I'm not.
Yeah, I haven't played much of it, but I know it's a anticipated game. Seems to have a decent following. Then there's an interesting one. There's Kirby Air Riders. Didn't even know this was happening. It's a big hit from Nintendo, supposedly. So
I haven't played a Kirby game since 64 days.
have they even made another one since then?
I'm sure they've had to have made at least a few.
Because this is the first time I've heard of a Kirby game since the N64.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't heard much on Kirby for a long time, but I'm sure there's had to have been maybe like a 3DS game or DS game somewhere in there or something.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And I'm sure they had something for like the Wii or the Wii U, maybe.
Yeah.
There's one that you might be interested in, the new Resident Evil game.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
It's
Played all
supposed,
the other ones.
yeah, it's supposed to be really good too.
Hope so.
They project it to be released sometime in 2026.
Yeah, I believe it was aiming for February.
I think you're right, yeah. Then there's a couple other games that I can't pronounce, and I really don't want to completely butcher them, so I'm going to exclude those because I can't pronounce them. We got a new Lego game, Lego Voyagers, which is interesting. That one...
Lego.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a Lego Voyagers, then there's a Lego Batman. Legacy of the Dark Knight. This one's actually set to be an open world Gotham, which could be fun. I don't know of many other open world Lego games, so that could be kind of cool.
I think they have 4 other Lego Batman games, but I've only ever played the first one.
Yeah, we own... I think we own all of the other Lego Batman games. I think. Because my son likes to play them. I know that he also really enjoys the Lego Incredibles. He's been playing that game nonstop. There's a new Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Then, of course, the much anticipated Outer Worlds 2. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's new with that. Like new weapons, there's a new ice planet, new player character, better stealth mechanics. You can slide across the floor. I guess that's fun for people to do.
It was
Yeah,
kind of a fun Borderlands 3 to have.
I honestly thought that
That was-
was just something that games had nowadays, was being able to slide. I didn't think that was like a feature for a game.
It's weird. Some like have it, some don't. Some you think they would, and they just don't. It's kind of a fun little extra thing, for like first person shooters to have something like that. Gives you a little bit more in a first person shooter. It's kind of just a nice extra function to sort of give you some sort of control of the player or something. It's just a nice little something.
But I thought that most games already had that mechanic built in. I didn't know that that was like a feature. I thought
there's
that's
a lot
just
of
how
games-
it worked.
I haven't played Doom in a while, but for some reason I don't think Doom does. Like the new ones, I don't.
The last time I played the newest Doom, I don't think it does have the slide mechanic. I don't remember having it anyway.
First 3 Borderlands don't, if you count, well, first 3 is in pre-sequel and 1 and 2 don't, but 3 does have one. I wonder if 4 will, probably.
There's not much else on this list that's very interesting to talk about, as far as new features for this game goes. So we'll just move on to some other games. There's a new Pokemon Legends Z coming out.
Chronos New Dawn, a horror game. It's coming out at the beginning of September. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, I don't think I know anything about that one.
Yeah, it's by the Bloober team or whatever, the ones that did the Silent Hill 2 remake. So looks pretty cool.
What's it about?
That. You're in like a sort of a futurist sort of looking like space/diver looking suit, and you're traveling like an apocalypse has happened or something, and you're traveling back in time to rescue some certain people, sort of like save the future or something, and there's some sort of like mutant messed up creatures and shit. It's like a horror game, so but I'm looking forward to it.
Huh. Sounds interesting. I know that my wife and I are looking forward to the new Dark Anthology game coming out in October this year. I forget the name of it now.
Is that the Directive 2080
Yes,
or whatever?
yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably be pretty cool.
Yeah, we played all the other Dark Anthology games already, and they're really well done. So it should be pretty interesting. I think it comes out in October. I think. Correct.
Probably. That sounds right. I know Borderlands 4 is dropping mid-September. And you got Ghost of Yodai, which is like the Ghost of Tsushima sequel coming out early
Yep.
October. Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, I heard that's supposed to be pretty good.
The original is really good. looks like they're doing pretty much like they're not really changing much. I mean, they're making it a lot better gameplay wise, but at least I don't think they're messing with like the story or anything really else. So I think people will be pretty satisfied with it overall.
Are you talking about the new game that's coming out? The oh oh, it already came out. Oh no, it didn't.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake
Yeah,
Eater.
yeah, that's set to release the 28th.
Yeah, so like 5 days.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Is there
I'm
any other games you've been excited for
excited
lately?
for. Yeah, I'm really since they announced like a teaser. They've announced a couple small teasers. Was for Darksiders 4, and it's supposed to continue where the first game left off. Finally, after all these years, the first game came out in like 2009. But in this one, you're supposed to be able to play as all four of the main characters, the horsemen. So I'm looking to it
It
a
sounds
lot.
familiar. I don't remember if I actually got to play any of the Darksiders. It sounds super
It's
familiar though.
Yeah, the first one's like a mix between like Legend of Zelda and like God of War.
I just looked it up. I have played this. This is the one that I actually really liked this game growing up. Huh. I actually forgot this game existed for a while.
Yeah, they released a mastered version for Xbox One and PS4, and I picked that up and played it a couple times, like years ago, maybe.
Do they
Like,
all tie into each other?
yeah, the second one takes place alongside the first one, and then the third one takes place briefly before like the first one. So there hasn't really been a continuation where the cliffhanger for the first one when like his the other horsemen show up at the end. So and then Dark Genesis was like Strife's game, but that took place like way before the events of like the three. So
Huh. Yeah, I'm looking at their game collection here. It's very confusing
yeah, I've been waiting for the next Dark. Well,
because there's
I think
Darksiders, then there's Darksiders 2, then there's Darksiders 3, then there's Genesis. But I saw some of the other random ones too. Those may have just been like remastered ones or something.
yeah, there's remasters of one and two
Ah, that's what I'm
because
seeing then. Yeah.
yeah, originally one and two dropped on the 360 and PS3, but then they released remastered versions, which was like the War Mastered and
Yeah.
Death Edition.
Are they available on the PS5 now? Can I find them on there?
Yeah, I think they are. I believe they are. I think they actually did an update version on PS5 and Series X for number 2.
Huh. I might have to go check that out later because I remember really liking the first one. The first one.
Yeah, then the second one takes a little bit of a weird turn. It kind of keeps some of that like Legend of Zelda vibes, but then it's almost like Prince of Persia, and then it's like almost like a loot-based RPG thing, which a lot of people didn't like that at first, but then after 3 came out, people like missed it because 3 is a lot closer to 1 again. I personally loved 3,
Would you say
and
that
it's a
they're
little more.
close to like the Dark Souls or those
The
kinds of games?
the third one definitely took some sort of inspiration from Dark Souls because each game takes some inspiration from other games. Like the third one uses sort of like Metroidvania setup, and they definitely use like something like that for inspiration, and then they use Dark Souls, but I don't think it's as bad as people made it out to seem. But you can definitely tell with like the weapon upgrade system and health item and needing to dodge and stuff. They definitely did use like Dark Souls as inspiration for it, which a lot of people didn't like. I didn't mind. They later updated it with like a classic edition option at the beginning that kind of softened some of that.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes when the word sort of spreads around, no one bothers to investigate deeper
Yeah,
and
well,
see that.
I mean, the Dark Souls games have a bit of a reputation. So I think that when a game gets labeled as being a Souls-like game or something similar, I think it generally tends to paint it in a not so good light to the normal kind of average gamers, I guess.
Yeah.
Because there's been numerous games that I've had to kind of tell my wife, you may not want to play this because you tend to not do well with hard games. And some of these games that she's been wanting to play, I don't exactly think that she would enjoy them as much as she thinks she might. She's a very casual, cozy gamer kind of person. So she likes like her Skyrim. She likes Field of Mystria. She likes Stardew Valley, that kind of games. She got into the Dark Anthology because she likes the story-driven games like that. So like The Last of Us. She tried to get into Death Stranding, but spent what felt like a couple hours just walking, and that kind of ruined the experience for her. She didn't like that game too much.
Yeah, Death Stranding, yeah.
I've heard it's a phenomenal game once you get into it, but the issue is it takes so long to get into it that you tend to
Yeah.
lose a lot of your player base just because they're sick of walking.
There's also just really long cutscenes and stuff that they throw at you right at the start of the game. You're trying to play, and then there's literally like 30-minute cutscenes, and it's like, geez.
I just remember watching her play it, and she would be walking for like 20 minutes, and then I would leave to go do something, come back, and she would still be walking like an hour later. And from what I read and had heard about when I was asking you questions about it forever ago, it seems like Sheila didn't even like leave the beginning parts of the game. So it seems like she was like in the like early sections of the game. So maybe if she had just kind of stuck with it a little more, maybe she would have liked it. But it just takes too long to get into it. She doesn't seem like she has that kind of attention span for these games. She recently began doing live streams of Skyrim, and last night she did one of Hogwarts Legacy again. So she seems to be getting back into that. I heard they're doing a second Hogwarts Legacy now, too.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, it was pretty popular. It seemed like when it came out a few years ago or whatever, the first one.
I don't know how they're going to do a second one when they wrapped up the first one's story so nicely, I guess. I mean, didn't leave a whole lot, at least not that I remember. It didn't seem like they left a whole lot for a plot for a second game. So I'm curious what the story's going to be.
So what's the deal with the first game? Does it take place like in like the early 1900s or something? I don't really know anything.
I don't know the exact like date. I know it's before Dumbledore gets to Hogwarts. It's before Voldemort. It's before the events of Harry Potter.
Okay,
I know
I
that
figured
much.
and figured it was from before Harry Potter, and
Yeah,
I believe
it's
the Harry Potter storyline takes place in the 90s.
I think so.
Like I know the movies were filmed in the 2000s, but I believe in the book it takes place in the 90s.
I think so. I'm trying to look it up now to see. I don't remember. Have you played the game yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so this says it takes place in the late 1800s, long before the
Oh,
events of the Harry Potter books, which are set in the 1900s. Yeah. And the Fantastic Beasts take place in the 1920s to 1940s.
yeah, I remember that being somewhere around like the 1920s or 30s or something, the Fantastic Beasts.
This says specifically the story begins in 1980. So you wouldn't see any of the familiar faces from the Harry Potter world because they wouldn't exist yet, obviously.
Uh-uh.
But it's a interesting enough game by itself. I mean, I beat it in I think 20 hours. And what's interesting is the headmaster in the game is a descendant of Sirius Black from the movies.
Yeah, I figured I'd have to like tie in some stuff to keep people,
Yeah.
to make it feel faithful to the world that's already been built and keep people kind of hooked in.
So another interesting fact is that Dumbledore wasn't born until 1881. So in the events of the game, he's a teenager.
Oh wow.
So that means that Dumbledore must have been hundreds of years old by the time Harry
Dude, yeah,
Potter.
he was like old then. He was like 100 something years old. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's over a century away from when Harry Potter comes into the picture. That's nuts. Wow.
I guess I suppose being a wizard will probably do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
No, it's crazy though. Yeah, I didn't know he was like that old. I've always like I'm okay with the Harry Potter universe. I'm not like a huge fan. I don't think it's like bad, but I'm just not really like a huge fan. I've seen all the movies like a couple times and read like the first book a long time ago, but that was like it.
I like the world enough. I think they could have done a little better with the game. But it seems like they captured the world well enough. But I have a hard time believing that the second one's going to live up to whatever hype that it's going to generate.
Yeah, I could see that. Some sequels just often tend to fall short.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode. We talked a lot about various new games being released. We talked about Harry Potter. We talked about Hogwarts Legacy. No, it may not have been as interesting, so to speak, compared to our last couple episodes, but really hasn't been all that much going on lately, and I wanted to make sure we covered some of the new games. So with that being said, we will catch you guys in the next one.